ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், திருமழிசை ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், பெரியவாச்சான் பிள்ளை திருடிகளே சரணம், ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாதரம் முனிம் ரம்ய ஜாமாத்திரி யோகீந்திர பாத ரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜ முனிம் பஜே லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம் यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुज युग्मरुक्मं व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैहिकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मातापिता युवते स्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेर्कुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं शरश्च मकदाह्वये भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्ग्रिरेण परकाले यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् தருச்சந்த பொழில் தழுவு தாரணியின் துயர்தீர திருச்சந்த விருத்தம் செய் திருமழிசை பரன்வருமோர் தருச்சந்தும் காரைகளும் கமல் போங்கு மணனாரும் திருச்சந்தத்துடன் மருவு திருமழிசை வளம்பதியே உலகும் மழிசையும் உள்ளுணர்ந்து தம்மில் புலவர் புகழ் கோலால் தூக்க உலகு தம்மை வைத்தெடுத்த பக்கத்தும் மானீர் மழிசையே வைத்தெடுத்த பக்கம் வலிது. In the series of lectures in English in Dhivyaprabandham, we've been enjoying Tirumalizhai Alvar's thiruchchandha viruththam. We've seen up to the 8th pasuram. Now we are continuing with the next set of pasurams. 9th pasuram. தாதுலாவு கொன்றை மாலை துண்ணு செஞ்சடைச்சிவன் நீதியால் வணங்கு பாத நின்மலா நிலாய சீர் வேதவான கீத வேள்வி நீதியான கேள்வியார் நீதியால் வணங்குகின்ற நீர்மை நின்க நின்றதே. This is the 9th pasuram. Let us see the introduction given by Periyavachan Pillai for this pasuram. Bhagavan is having inconceivable greatness. Because of that, we've seen that in the previous pasuram that he has got inconceivable greatness. Because of that, Rudra, who is the chief among Prayojanantarapara, that is, those who seek other benefits such as comfortable living, joyful life, and so on. So, Rudra is said to be the chief among those. And then, Vaidika Agresarara, that is, those who are best among Vaidikas. Here Vaidikas imply those who have understood the essence of Vedam, which is Ananya Prayojana Kainkaryam. That is Kainkaryam, service, devotional service, Ananya Prayojana Kainkaryam. Service without any other expectation than performing that service. So those Vaidika Agresara, that is the best among Vaidikas, who have no other expectation than performing Kainkaryam, all of them are coming and surrendering to Bhagavan. Why is that? Because you are the refuge for everyone, irrespective of whether one is seeking worldly benefits or one is simply seeking eternal Kainkaryam. All of them will come to you only because you are the refuge for all such persons. Alvar says in this pasuram. Here Kainkaryam has to be understood. What is Kainkaryam? Kainkaryam means the act of a kinkara. Kinkara means a servitor who is always looking up to his master and asking, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? That is the explanation for the word kinkara. And the activity of a kinkara is Kainkaryam. That Kainkaryam, that is devotional service, can be done for multiple purposes. Some person may be doing Kainkaryam for their own comfortable livelihood. Because if they do some service, they get some money in return. Some people may be doing Kainkaryam for self-satisfaction. They have enough money, enough wealth, but they want to do Kainkaryam, so so that they are satisfied. That is the next level. And ultimately, there are those like Alvars, Acharyas, who did Kainkariam for the satisfaction of Bhagavan. They are not doing Kainkariam for self-satisfaction. They are doing it for ultimate happiness of Bhagavan. So Kainkariam is the activity, Kainkariam in true sense is the activity which brings joy to Bhagavan. So here, that Ananya Prayojana Kainkariam means those who do Kainkariam fully for the pleasure of Bhagavan and not for self-satisfaction or self-pleasure. Because even when we do Kainkariam, sometimes we may think, oh, how beautifully I am reciting pAsurams. We may think, how beautifully I am explaining these principles to others. One person who is an Archaka may think, how beautifully I am decorating the deities. In this manner, one may indulge in self-praise and self-satisfaction. But that is not the true sense of Kainkariam. Kainkariam means our activity must be fully for the pleasure of Bhagavan, not for mutual pleasure, not for self-pleasure. It should be exclusive pleasure for Bhagavan only. So such persons also surrender unto you. And persons like Rudra, who are devatas in this world, who have worldly objectives, they are also bound by karma. So they also come and take refuge of Bhagavan. So that is the greatness of being Sarva Samashwaniya, being the refuge for everyone. That is the greatness of you, says Tirumazhi in this pasuram. Let us see the word by word meanings. Tadu. Tadu means pollens or the fragrance giving element of the flowers. Tadu. Ulavu. Remaining in abundance. Being in abundance. Kondrai Malai. This Kondrai Pushpam, that is a trumpet flower, which is very dear to Rudra. Rudra is always pleased when this Kondrai flower is given to him, submitted to him. So this Kondrai flower garland, Tun, densely, Sem, reddish, Sadai, Jata, that is the matted hair, which is very dense and which is reddish. Having these, Shivan, Rudra, that is Rudra, Nidiyal. Niti here means the rules and regulations given in Vedam, Shastram. In that boundary, within the boundary of the rules and regulations given in Vedam, Vanangu, worshipping. So Rudra is worshipping Bhagavan as per the rules and regulations given in Vedam. So he is also a Vaidika only. Rudra is also a devotee of Bhagavan. He is also a Vaidika because he follows the rules and regulations of Vedam. So such Rudra is worshipping Bhagavan. So you who are worshipped by such Rudra, Pada, one who is having lotus feet. So Rudra is worshipping that lotus feet of Bhagavan. So here Bhagavan is glorified that he is worshipped by even Rudra. Rudra is considered to be great devata in this world. But that Rudra himself is worshipping Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. Many times we see this in Alvar's Pasurams. Sometimes they celebrate other devatas. Sometimes they remain indifferent towards other devatas. Sometimes they consider devatas to be inferior. It is depending on how the devatas interact with Bhagavan. When the devatas are worshipping Bhagavan, they are glorified. When the devatas remain indifferent towards Bhagavan, we also, that is, Alvars, Acharyas, Sri Vaishnavas, we also remain indifferent towards other devatas. When the devatas fight with Bhagavan, they are blamed for their ignorance. So this is how three different ways devatas are considered by Alvars and Acharyas. So here, this Devatas Rudra is praised because he is worshipping Bhagavan. Even though he is worshipping for worldly benefits, still he is praised here. And Bhagavan is said that you are being worshipped by Rudra himself. Your lotus feet is worshipped by Rudra himself. Ninmala, oh, one who is very pure, completely pure. Nilaya, growing. Seer, Amanitvam, and etc. Seer is qualities such as Amanitvam. Amanitvam means not having any pride at all. Vedavanar, those Vaidika Agresara, that is, those best among Vaidikas who can conduct Vedam under their disposal. They are such experts in Vedam. Velvi, Gita, that is Samagana, filled with Samaganas. So they are Samavedis. Let us say that they are Samavedis. And not only Samavedis, but all Vedis are there. Mainly here, Samavedam is considered as the best among the Vedams because it has a musical context in it. So the yagas, yajnas, Velvis, yajnas, which are filled with Samaganams. So those best among Vaidikas are engaging in such yajnas which are filled with Samaganams. And then Nitiyana, again, they are also not violating any of the rules of Vedas. So Nitiyana means following the rules properly. Kelviyar, having Shravanam, etc. Shravanam is the way we learn Vedam. Vedam is learnt by Acharya Ucharana, Shishya Anucharana. So Acharya will first recite, Shishya will repeat multiple times. In this manner, the Vedam will be heard and then repeated. That is why it is known as Shruti. So those who are properly trained in Vedams in this manner, in proper training, in proper learning, usually it is said in many places that learning Shastram, learning dhivyaprabandham, learning the important principles of Shastram, that has to be done through proper manner. That is by learning under a guru. It should not be just read and studied. It should not just be learnt on one's own efforts. It should be learnt under an acharya by doing service. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. One should serve the acharya. One should take care of the acharya's all the requirements. All the bodily requirements must be taken care by the shishya. And the shishya will learn this great knowledge, Brahma Vidya, about Brahman, about Bhagavan, from that acharya. So that kind of Vaidikas who are properly trained by an acharya, properly trained by acharyas, them nitiyal in the proper manner as per the rules and regulations of Vedam, vananguginra, those who are worshipping, those who are pursuing Bhagavan through Vedam, such Bhagavan, nirmai, that is the nature, ninkan nindrate, you are having. So you are having this nature of being worshipped by Rudra and the esteemed Vaidikas who are best in the understanding of Shastram through proper channel and properly practicing the Vaidika principles. So that is explained in this 9th pasuram. That is the greatness you are having. You are being the refuge for all those who are like Devatas, great Devatas like Rudra, and those who are greatly renunciant. They are not attached to worldly aspects. They are fully focused on Ananya Prayojana Kainkaryam. All of these personalities, they are all worshipping you, says Alvar in this pasuram. That is 9th Pasuram. Tadulavu Kontrimale Tunnu Senjade Chivan. Nidiyal Vanangupada Ninmala Nilayasir. Vedavanar Gita Velvi Nitiyana Kelviyar. Nidiyal Vanangigendra Nirmai Ninkan Nindrade. Next, 10th Pasuram. தன்னுளே திரைத்தெழும் தரங்கவன் தடங்கடல் தன்னுளே திரைத்தெழுந்து அடங்குகின்ற தன்மை போல் நின்னுளே பிறந்திருந்து நிற்பவும் திரிபவும் நின்னுளே அடங்குகின்ற நீர்மை நின்கண் என்றதே. Let us see Periyavachan Pillai's introduction here. In the previous Pasuram, the Upasyatvam, that is Bhagavan being worshipped, being worshipable, that is explained based on Sarva Samashrayatvam, that is being the refuge for everyone. Only Bhagavan is the refuge for everyone. Based on that aspect, he is worshipped by all. So that was explained in the previous Pasuram. Now in this Pasuram, as said in Karanam tu Dhyayaha. So here, Atharva Shikai, that is having an important statement. That is, one must meditate, pursue, one must meditate upon Bhagavan, who is the Karanam, who is the cause of the entire universe. So, that Karanatvam is explained for Bhagavan only. So, based on him being the cause of entire creation, it is said that he is pursuable, he is worshipable. So, that is what is explained in this Pasuram. Here, Karana means Upadana Karanam. That is the main aspect. Upadana Karanam means material cause. It is Bhagavan who is transforming himself into this visible creation. Everything is body of Bhagavan. All the Atmas and all the Achit. Now, because of this soul body, Atma, Deham, Shariri, Sharira, Bhavam, this relationship, it is said that Bhagavan himself is the cause, because it is his body, which is Atmas and Achit. They are getting transformed. Atma, which was without any body and senses during the deluge, now all of these Atmas are given body and senses. Achit, which was invisible, subtle, that is transformed into variegated creation, whatever we see here, in the form of Deva, that is celestial beings, Manushya, human beings, Tiryak, that is animals, birds and reptiles and so on, and then Stavara, that is plants and other immovable items. So, Achit gets transformed into different types of bodies, and Atmas get associated with those bodies based on their karma. All of this is done by Bhagavan as part of creation. So, that Upadana Karanatvam, that is a very important aspect, that Bhagavan is the Upadana Karanam. Already everyone will accept, any Vaidika will or anyone will accept that Bhagavan is the Nimitta Karana. Nimitta Karana means one who makes the creation happen. And Sahakari Karana, that is the instrumental cause, that is Bhagavan's knowledge and Shakti and so on. Now, Upadana Karana is the main aspect. Bhagavan's body, Atmas and Achit, which are in subtle form, transforming into gross form, visible form. So, because of this reason, Bhagavan himself is said as Upadana Karanam. So, due to being Upadana Karanam, Bhagavan is Samashrayaniyan, refuge. That is explained in this Pasuram, and it is explained with an example, a very beautiful example. That is, when the ocean is agitated, it throws up waves, tides. Now those tides come out of the ocean only, and then subsequently those tides go back to the ocean only. So this expansion and contraction that happens within that ocean, nothing outside influences this. So that is the example given in Shastram for this creation and annihilation. When creation happens, everything expands from Bhagavan. When annihilation happens, everything contracts into Bhagavan. So that is what is explained here as the example. So let us see the word by word meanings. Tannule, within him, within it, thiraithu, rising, எழும், going up, throwing up, taranga, having tides, waves, wind, whitish, tadam, expansive, kadal, the ocean. So the ocean which is rising up, throwing up the waves from within, tannule, within itself, thiraithu, rising, எழுந்து, blowing those, throwing those waves, adangigendra, subsequently, they are all subduing, they are all going back into the ocean. Tannai pol, like that nature of ocean, where it expands and then it shrinks within itself. Like that, ninnule, within your swarupam. So Bhagavad Swarupam is the one which holds everything together. All of the Nitya Vibhuti, spiritual world, all of the Leela Vibhuti, samsara, all of the Atmas, everything is held in the Swarupam, in the true nature of Bhagavan. So, in that Swarupam, Pirandu, appearing, taking shape, taking form, Irandu, getting destroyed, subduing, being annihilated, Nirpavam. So, all of these entities which are Nirpavam, Stavara, that is, remaining in the same place. And then Tiriyavam, Jangamam, those entities which are moving here and there. So all of these worlds, everything which is movable and immovable, ninnule, within you, adangigendra, subduing, nearmai, swabhavam, that nature, ninkane, within you only, in you only, nindrathu, it is present. So here, Alvar is taking this example of ocean throwing up high tides and taking those tides back into the ocean itself. That is taken as an example to explain how Bhagavan expands during creation and then Bhagavan contracts, pulls everything back into him, into his Swarupam during the total deluge. So that example is shown here. This is why if we understand Bhagavan, it is said that we can understand everything in this creation because Bhagavan is the origin of everything. So that principle is understood by understanding that Bhagavan is the Jagat Karanam. He is the cause of entire creation. That is, all the Atmas, all the Achit, they all fully depend upon him. For the Atmas to have body, Bhagavan has to grant that. For the Atmas to act, Bhagavan has to grant Chit Shakti, Pravritti Shakti, that is the ability to use one's knowledge, ability to act. All of these are given by Bhagavan. Based on that, these Atmas can act in a good manner based on Shastram and ultimately attain Bhagavan. So, those are all the concepts which we will understand subsequently. But for now, Bhagavan being the cause of entire creation is explained here in this pasuram. And because of that aspect of Bhagavan, he is worshipable. He is worshipped by everyone. He is taken as refuge by everyone, says Alvar in this pasuram. With this, we will stop this session and we will continue on in the subsequent sessions. Please don't forget to visit dhivyaprabandham.coil.org, where detailed translation of the Vyakyanam, the original commentary, is available in English for this thiruchchandha viruththam. Alvar Thirudigalé Sharanam, Emberumanar Thirudigalé Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudigalé Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudigalé Sharanam, Tirumazhi Alvar Thirudigalé Sharanam, Periyavachan Pillai Thirudigalé Sharanam, Puttur swAmy Thirudigalé Sharanam. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் மல்லாண்டு தின்றோள் மணிவண்ணா சேவடி செவிதிருக்கா படியோமோடும் நோடும் பிரிவின் ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாய் நின் வளமார்பினில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆழியும் பல்லாண்டு படைபோர் புக்கு முழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டு.